Good news for all Invincible fans! Tech Jacket, a character we covered extensively on this channel, has finally appeared in Invincible, and he's expected to play a role in upcoming seasons, particularly during the Viltrumite War event where he played a crucial part, something we've discussed in a previous video. While Zack has often emerged victorious in battles with relative ease thanks to his overwhelming power, he has also faced enemies that matched or even briefly surpassed him, putting his abilities to the test. Since we've already explored Zack's powers and origins, it's time to delve into some lesser-known stories involving this fan-favorite character. In today's video, we'll take a look at Zack's encounter with a villain who truly challenged him and nearly brought an end to Tech Jacket. If you enjoy deep dives in comics, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more interesting content like this. The story begins during the Invincible War event, where we see Zack battle two Evil Mark variants. Realizing he was no match for two Viltrumites, Zack resorted to a desperate solution. He overloaded his armor, causing a massive explosion that vaporized both Invincibles, but also severely injured him. Fortunately, Zack's dad, who had been observing the battle from their base, contacted the Jeldarians, who arrived just in time to rescue Zack. They took him to a local hospital where Zack's dad blamed himself for the incident, believing he could have helped sooner if he had contacted the Jeldarians earlier. Suddenly, Zack regained consciousness, revealing he was alive and reassuring his dad that it wasn't his fault. It took a few months for Zack to recover, but he eventually returned to normal. However, the battle left a lasting impact on him. He felt remorse over killing the alternate marks, even if they were evil. His mom suggested he take a vacation, a much-needed break from superhero duties, and his girlfriend, the Jeldarian Princess Lynn, agreed to join him. Meanwhile, on the other side of the galaxy, a powerful cosmic being is seen destroying an entire planet, reminiscent of Galactus from Marvel Comics. However, an alien assassin named Null intervenes, stopping the destruction. Null is revealed to be a hired assassin completing a mission. After defeating his target, he's informed that his client wants to meet him in person to offer a more lucrative deal. The client, a former mercenary with no inherent superpowers, relies solely on technology. He explains that the Jeldarians created the most powerful armor in the universe, and that the Tech Jacket armor has symbiotic qualities. It enhances the host, and the host enhances the armor. Since humans are naturally stronger than Jeldarians, Zack's armor is potentially the strongest in existence, thousands of times more powerful than standard versions. The client tasks Null with tracking down Zack, extracting his armor, and bringing it to him. Back on Earth, Zack and Lynn are vacationing in Costa Rica. One night, they attempt to get intimate but quickly realize how different their biologies are, leading to an awkward silence. When Lynn asks Zack if he wants to talk about their relationship, he dismissively replies, "What's there to talk about?" This angers Lynn and she leaves. Zack decides to return to superhero duties to clear his head and calls his dad for relationship advice. Shortly after, Zack's dad informs him about a mysterious object falling from space in Kansas and urges him to investigate. Unbeknownst to Zack, this mission will pit him against his most dangerous enemy yet. The falling object in question was Null, who arrived on Earth with the sole purpose of killing Zack. His arrival was noticed only by a nearby elderly couple whom Null attacked. By killing them, Null absorbed information about Earth, one of his unique abilities. He then headed to a nearby small town. When Zack arrived, the town was gone, replaced by a massive crater. Zack soon spotted Null, who proceeded to grab an entire landmass and hurl it at him. Thankfully, the Tech Jacket armor's incredible durability allowed Zack to survive the attack. This act enraged Zack, as Null had killed hundreds of innocent people for no reason other than to briefly slow him down. Null taunted Zack, claiming he stood no chance against such a powerful opponent, and urged him to surrender. Refusing to back down, Zack deployed his weapons, but Null remained unimpressed. He effortlessly dodged every missile and then charged at Zack. Using his specialized blades, Null sliced through the Tech Jacket armor, injuring Zack and immobilizing him. To ensure his target was defeated, Null relentlessly pummeled the already injured Zack. He then contacted his client, informing him that the suit had been acquired, which impressed the client. When asked about Zack's status, Null coldly replied that he was deceased. Upon hearing Null's declaration that he was dead, Zack defiantly told the villain that he was still alive. Null responded coldly, stating that he was aware but could recognize when the end was inevitable. He then silenced Zack, warning that he could end him at any moment. The battle was observed by Zack's dad, who was desperate to find a solution. He first contacted Kanda, a Jeldarian warrior on Earth, but Kanda explained they were too far away to reach Zack in time. Desperate, Zack's dad then reached out to Lynn, begging her to help. Recognizing the urgency, Lynn immediately rushed to the scene. Meanwhile, Null continued to mercilessly beat Zack. Just as Null prepared to deliver a fatal blow, Zack mustered a brief surge of strength and blocked the punch. This only enraged Null further, who promised to show Zack true pain and crushed his hand. Before the battle could continue, Lynn arrived. She attacked Null and rushed to rescue Zack, but the villain quickly recovered and retaliated. Null confidently declared that he was unbeatable, reminding Lynn that he had destroyed an entire town on a whim and torn apart the strongest armor in the universe. He stated that this battle was just another day on the job for him, and that nothing on Earth could stop him. He then turned his attention to Lynn, taunting that while killing Zack was a job, killing her would be a perk. Running out of options and nearing death, Zack devised a desperate plan. He first asked the suit to run a diagnostic, revealing that the tech jacket was only at 20% power. While Null was distracted by Lynn, Zack ordered the suit to transfer all remaining power to propulsion. The suit's AI warned against this, citing catastrophic consequences. But Zack insisted, and the suit complied. Before launching his attack, Zack contacted his dad and urged him to evacuate their space base. He then grabbed Null and dragged him toward the base. During their flight, Null continued to taunt Zack, mocking his dwindling strength and dismissing their fight as mere business rather than a heroic struggle. As they approached the satellite, the suit warned that a complete system collapse was inevitable. They slammed through the satellite, and Null admitted he admired Zack's resilience and willingness to sacrifice himself. However, he dismissed Zack's efforts as futile, noting that the armor was destroyed and the satellite hadn't stopped him. Zack then revealed his true plan. He activated a teleportation device stored on the base and shoved Null into it. Despite Null's threats to tear the universe apart to find his target, Zack teleported the villain to an unknown location. The activation of the teleporter caused a massive explosion, destroying the remnants of the satellite and leaving Zack floating in space, his armor completely destroyed. Fortunately, the Jeldarians, led by Kanda, arrived to rescue Zack. They brought him to a hospital where he was reunited with his parents and Lynn. Zack apologized to Kanda for destroying the satellite and the suit, but Kanda reassured him, saying that the Jeldarians were accustomed to tragedy and loss. He told Zack they would rebuild just as they always had, and revealed that they had already prepared a new suit and a new space base for him. Later, Lynn informed Zack that her father had ordered her to return to Jeldaria to resume her duties as princess. Despite the challenge, they both agreed they still wanted to be together whenever possible and maintain an emotional bond. They shared a heartfelt kiss before parting ways. The next page shows Null reaching the end of his teleportation. As he looks around, he realizes that Zack has teleported him into the heart of the sun, where he is completely surrounded by its searing heat and unimaginable pressure. Despite his immense power, Null understands that there is no escape from this fate, finally putting an end to a seemingly invincible villain.